All right, let's kick off another deep dive. Today we're going all in on AI.
All in on AI.
Yeah, using the CNA article to kind of guide us. We're going to be looking at how big tech is, really kind of jumping into this.
Yeah.
We're talking the big players,
Yeah.
Microsoft, Meta,
Right?
and they're not joking around.
No, they're not.
We're talking billions of dollars.
Billions and billions.
Yeah.
The scale of this spending is, it really does kind of remind you of the early days of cloud computing,
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Except I think even bigger, really.
Yeah, the article highlights that, we've got this huge surge in capital spending specifically for AI infrastructure.
Right.
And, Visible Alpha, they point out something pretty crazy.
It's that.
Microsoft's spending, right, in one quarter
Okay.
now surpasses what they used to spend in a whole year
Wow.
before 2020.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
That is.
And Meta's the same way. What they're spending now in a quarter is what they used to spend annually before 2017.
Yeah, it's massive, massive.
It's crazy. So it really begs the question, what's driving this?
Well, yeah, you have to wonder, right? Is it this kind of like pure optimism about what AI can do? Or is it, oh no, we got to get on this train before it leaves the station?
Right, like fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out, yeah. Or is it just really about, trying to dominate the market before anyone else can?
Yeah, it's probably all three.
Probably a bit of all three.
Yeah, it's high stakes, right.
It is. High stakes, yeah.
And so, Wall Street's starting to get a little like,
They're getting nervous.
Yeah.
They're seeing all this money.
Yeah, the article mentions that investors are getting a bit, they use the word jittery.
Jittery, yeah. It makes sense. They're looking at these huge investments.
But the returns aren't there yet.
No, not quite yet. It's a classic thing you see in tech, right?
Yeah.
Short-term thinking versus the long game,
Yeah.
Investors, they want to see their portfolios growing now.
Right.
They're not as patient as maybe they need to be for something like this.
Yeah, and it's already kind of having an impact, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, the article talks about how Meta and Microsoft, their stock prices actually dipped after their last earnings calls, even though they did great profit-wise.
Yeah.
They exceeded all expectations.
Exceeded expectations, yeah.
Revenue is good.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show, Wall Street's really looking at these companies differently now.
It's like, show me the AI money.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about the profits you're making today. It's like, okay, how's this AI strategy going to play out? What's the long game here?
It's like almost like a perfect storm.
Yeah, how so?
Because one of the big challenges is this capacity crunch.
A capacity crunch, what do you mean?
Well, the article talks about this. It's a global shortage.
A shortage of what?
Of AI chips.
AI chips. So like the brawn you need to make this stuff work.
The processing power, yeah, to train and run, complex models.
Gotcha.
So specifically those chips from NVIDIA and AMD.
Oh, yeah, those are like the gold standard.
Yeah.
And they're in short supply.
Big time.
And so how does that impact, the companies?
Well, think about it this way. You're trying to train something like ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have the chips to handle the computations.
So it's like you're trying to build a skyscraper, but you don't have enough steel.
Exactly. So it's slowing everything down. And it's affecting everyone from these big companies.
Microsoft, Google, all of them.
To all the little startups.
Right.
Everyone who's trying to do cool things with AI.
Everyone's hitting a wall because of these chips.
Yeah. So even if you have the money and you want to build this AI infrastructure,
you can't because there's no chips.
You can't get the hardware.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's having like ripple effects throughout the whole, tech world.
Like how? So give me an example.
Think about all the companies that rely on the cloud for their AI applications.
Right.
It's going to slow everything down.
So it's not just the AI companies. It's everyone who's trying to use AI.
Exactly. And that's what's so interesting about, Microsoft's position.
So.
Because on the one hand, they're saying, hey, our cloud business, Azure,
right,
it might slow down a bit.
Because they don't have the chips.
Yeah, because of this. But then they turn around and they say, but don't worry, AI is the long game.
So which is it?
Right.
Are they worried or are they not?
It's tough. It's a tough sell.
It is. Trying to manage expectations when everyone wants to see results now.
It's like, be patient.
It's coming.
But show me the money.
Right.
It's a tough spot to be in, right?
It is.
So it makes you wonder, what's the play here?
Yeah.
Are they just hoping this chip shortage is going to like magically disappear?
Right.
Or do they have something, up their sleeve?
Some secret plan.
Yeah, some secret weapon. Who knows, right? But it's interesting because even with all this like doom and gloom,
Right.
there's still so much optimism
Oh, yeah?
about AI in the tech world.
Oh, absolutely.
The article highlights this. They talk about, Zuckerberg
Zuckerberg.
from Meta
Yeah.
and their earnings call. And he was basically like full steam ahead.
He's not worried about any of this.
He's like, we're doubling down. We're putting even more resources into AI.
Even with the chip shortage, the jittery investor.
Even with all of it.
So is it just blind faith? Or does he know something we don't?
Yeah, I mean, this capacity crunch isn't going away anytime soon.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And, it makes you think back to, like, the dot-com bubble.
Oh, yeah.
All that hype.
Making money.
Yeah, tons of investment. And then, poof.
Gone.
Yeah. And that's what's kind of scary, right?
It's a little scary.
It's not just about the financial risk either. The article talks about, like, the bigger picture,
Yeah, the impact on society.
Exactly. We're talking privacy, jobs, the way we interact with the world. I mean, it's big stuff.
As this, as these technologies get more powerful.
More powerful, yeah.
More integrated into our lives.
And it's happening fast. Like, think about it. AI is already everywhere.
It really is.
The news we read, the products we buy.
It's wild.
Yeah, and it's only going to get, more.
More and more, yeah.
So it begs the question, right? What does it all mean for us?
Yeah.
The everyday users.
The regular people.
What role do we even have in all of this?
Right. Are we just along for the ride? Or can we actually, steer the ship a little bit?
That's what I find so interesting about this whole thing. Because ultimately, the future of AI, it's not just in the hands of these big companies.
Right.
It's shaped by the choices we make.
Yeah.
The products we use.
The conversations we have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are we going to just accept whatever they throw at us?
Yeah.
Whatever AI solution.
Right.
Or are we going to demand, some transparency?
Yeah.
Some accountability.
Yeah.
Make sure this stuff is being developed ethically.
It feels like almost like we're at a crossroads.
At a crossroads, yeah.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening.
In what way?
It's given us this glimpse into, what's driving this AI revolution.
Right.
But it's also left us with, like, a ton of questions.
Yeah, more questions than answers, probably.
Yeah, and I think that's okay, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's how we learn.
Exactly. Asking questions.
That's how we grow.
That's how we figure out, what kind of future we want.
It's exciting and scary at the same time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's a lot to kind of wrap your head around. And this CNA article, they do a good job of, like, not just focusing on the money.
Right.
But also looking at, like, the practical side of AI.
Oh, yeah, like what it can actually do.
Yeah, like how far along is this technology really?
And it's easy to get, I think, caught up in all the hype.
Yeah.
AI is going to solve all our problems.
Yeah.
But it's not there yet.
Not magic, right?
No, it's not magic.
It's really good at some things, like, analyzing data, spotting patterns. Heck, it can even write you a tome.
Right.
But it's still pretty bad at stuff that we humans do without even thinking.
Like what?
Like common sense, understanding emotions, figuring out, how to deal with people.
Yeah, that's still hard for AI.
Really hard. It's like it's got a different kind of intelligence than us.
That's a good way to put it. Like, it's good at some things, but not others.
Exactly. And that's why we have to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
AI is a powerful tool. It's not a, cure-all.
So knowing that, right, how do we even begin to navigate all of this?
Well, I think, first of all, we got to stay informed. Learn the basics about AI, what it can do, what it can't do, how it might affect our lives.
Right.
And then we need to talk about it. Have these conversations about what kind of future we want.
Like, make conscious choices about the AI we use.
Yeah, exactly. Be informed consumers. Be responsible citizens.
Yeah, be aware of, like, the tools and the apps and the services. Understand how they work. Think about the ethical side of things.
Right. And don't just take everything you hear about AI at face value.
Yeah.
Question it. Dig a little deeper. Form your own opinions.
It's like be an active participant in this, not just, sitting back and letting it happen.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that brings us back to this tension, right?
The big spending, the impatient investors.
The long road ahead. It's like, what does it all mean for the future?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has the answer. But I do think the future is going to be shaped by, what we do, the choices we make, the actions we take.
It's up to us.
It is.
Well, that's about all the time we have for this deep dive. But, this AI thing, it's moving fast. It's going to affect all of us. So stay curious, stay informed.
Yeah, stay engaged. This is happening now, and we're all part of it.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring.